I'm going to continue the conversation from the last videos I've done on online dating versus approaching women in real life or approaching women in public. Same thing. So, I'm going to be saying the same thing that I've said for many years about online dating and approaching women in real life. My personal opinion is I just wouldn't be seen dead on an online dating site. And if there are any online dating sites with my name, then you can be 100% sure they're fake accounts, that they're not me. And my reasons, I've got really two reasons for why I don't do online dating, and I just think it's a complete waste of time for me personally, right? And I grew up in a culture, and I grew up with the values, more old school values, where you're honest with people. You had respect for people. You didn't play all these little underhanded games. That was really a sign that you're not an honourable person. You're not trustworthy. You're not you're not someone that most people would respect. Where I grew up, these principles, these values are really respected. And for me, online dating is a part of the culture that I never liked growing up in school. I never related to it, and I was never going to be, even though it was hard at times, I was never going to be forced or pressured into changing who I am as a person, how I've been brought up, my values, my belief in God, all of these really important things. I was never gonna give that up and become fake and play all these games and try and play these games with women and people in general. It just, I couldn't do it. I couldn't sell myself short in that way. So when online dating came about, obviously we didn't really know what it was about at the time. The idea sounded quite it kind of sounded like it made sense logically, because you go on the computer, you set your profile up, you say obviously your name, your interests, your hobbies, and you put a picture of yourself, and then if a woman likes you, she will pick you, or you'll send her a message. So on paper it sounded good, but in practice it was terrible. When I actually tried, when it first came about, I'm not even going to mention the names, I'm not even going to promote them, I'm not going to give them any credit on my platform. They're not going to get any promotion from me, because I don't agree with their values. So when I started going on these sites, I found that the whole energy weren't honest. I didn't like it, didn't feel right. Didn't find the kind of woman that I wanted to meet, and that was even at a very young age. That was, how old was I then? Young, in my teens, 17, 18, maybe even a bit younger. But I still had, even at a young age, I had these values in place, and I just don't like playing these games and treating people in that kind of way, and also treating myself like that. So I just thought, I'm not doing this, I'm packing this in. And a lot of people were getting into it. And obviously moving forward now, it's taken off more. You've got so many of these companies. And I just asked you a question, everyone. Do you seriously think these online dating companies care about you finding love? Do you seriously think they care? They don't give a shit. All they care about is getting your money, making a lot of money, and promoting their brand. They don't care. They really don't. And I'm not really one that has to start bragging, but over the years when I was dating, being a dating and relationship expert, I got way more men in successful long-term relationships than any of these online dating sites. I know that for a fact. I know how much my work helped people, and this is something probably a lot of people don't realise. Not only did I get so many men in meaningful long-term relationships, I also got the women in relationships. Probably something a lot of you didn't think about. It's not just one-sided, because obviously if I've helped a guy to find his ideal woman and he's happy, then obviously she's found she's found a guy as well. So it's effectively helping both. And at the time, I wasn't at war with online dating companies or anything like that. I wasn't even really thinking about it. I was just doing what I was passionate about and what so many people around the world related to where I was coming from. And I wasn't coming from, I've said this before as well, I don't agree with the pickup philosophy. For me, that's another BS philosophy. It's about playing games. It's that same energy. It's just not honourable. It doesn't take any courage. You're basically being a coward. You're basically lying and manipulating people for them to like you. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'd rather have no one like me and be who I am and be myself and be genuine than have a whole group of people liking me that are fake, that don't even like me for who I don't even know me, and I'm acting up to make that. Doesn't make any sense to me. But obviously not everyone thinks the way I do, and not everyone thinks the way that you do, and you're always going to get that, and that's life. So for me, online dating reeked of fakeness. It was just fake, and where there's fakeness, there's it's dishonest, it's not honourable, it's got a negative energy. I don't want to be part of that. And for me personally, right, and I'm not, it's everyone's choice. And this is just hard truths, right? Probably going to offend a lot of people. What can you do? When a guy does online dating and goes on these sites, immediately a woman's going to look down on him. Most women are immediately going to think, and whoever they're going to admit, they're going to think he's got issues, he's got low confidence. He wouldn't be on this site otherwise. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be on an online dating site trying to fight your way to get a date and sending loads of messages. You wouldn't be there. You'd have the confidence to approach a woman in real life and do what the old school men did. And it's just common sense. But it's interesting that we live in a culture where doesn't agree with men and women, approaching each other in real life, in a coffee shop, on the street, in a normal, natural environments that we all live in an everyday world. They don't agree on that. That doesn't fit part of their plan or agenda or their political ideas and beliefs. It doesn't fit. But what fits into their ideology is getting people to sign up to these online dating sites and getting them to be basically disrespected and treated like trash. Because it's the truth, and it's not just men that have said this. So many women have said to me that they've not been happy with the experience. So I just think it's terrible. I'm not going to do it. I've never needed to do it. The only time I tried it was when I was, as I said, I was like 18. I was young. Obviously, I wasn't experienced at that age, and I didn't have the confidence that I gained later on. But for the last 15 years, never even had to go on an online dating site. I've always met women in real life at face value, being honest, not playing games. As I said, always being very respectful towards women, always having good manners, just being the way my mum and dad and my family and the culture that I grew up in, all the boys around my area, the way I was brought up. I think it's the right way, right? That's my opinion. So for me, online dating goes against my values anyway as a human being. And I know I've gone a bit deep here, but it really does go deep. So, and I always knew later on, anytime, generally, I'm not knocking everything. I'm not like completely anti-establishment, right? But anytime something's created by the establishment, I always know it's dodgy. I don't want to be a part of it. I always know that there's some agenda. It's not a good agenda, and it just doesn't feel right. And I think you've got to go by that. If it doesn't feel right for you, then why are you on it? So I'm not here to campaign and to try and stop people from doing online dating. It's your choice, your life. As I said before, I haven't got time to try and force people to think the way I do. That's your choice, but I'm just giving you my opinion. As people do ask me for my opinion, I appreciate that, because I know I've got hell of a lot of expertise in this area. And to be honest, my main passion, which has always been before dating relationships, is the social anxiety. I've always done that, because I struggle with that myself. So I know what that's like for someone. But I've always been a person who's had a lot of confidence and a hell of a lot of courage. And I'm just being honest. And I think you should believe in yourself. People today, you can't win with people. They don't like it when you talk highly of yourself. They say you're arrogant, or you're egotistical, or you're being big-headed. But then what do you want me to do? What do you want people to do? To put themselves down and treat themselves like they're trash? It doesn't make sense. There's a balance. So I'm not an arrogant person. I wasn't brought up to be arrogant, but I'm confident in myself. And why shouldn't I be? And for me, I personally didn't feel like I'm respecting myself and women by going on and contributing to these sites. You know, I'm not contributing to something that I don't believe in, and it goes against my complete values as a human being, let alone a man, just a human being. I don't like it. I don't like what it represents. I don't like the agenda behind it. And look, like in everything in life, you know, there's nothing wrong with people making money, because, you know, business is a part of life. Every single day we're selling and buying. But I think there is a difference when you can make money, but you can still help people. You can have their best interests at heart, and that's really doing the best business. But these platforms, they don't work like that. They market that, they front that, they're fake, they're lying, they're fake themselves. So on the front, it's like, we care about you, we want to get you in. They don't give a shit about you. I'm being honest. Many intelligent people will tell you that. Where there's many good people in this world, thank God. So many of you that follow me, and so I know so many good people. But someone like myself, when I was teaching full time, yeah, I was a businessman, of course. It's a living, and I'm not going to apologise for that. I work very hard, and you've got to get paid for your hard work and your skill. But I genuinely cared about people, and I think that's why my clients really trusted me and liked me. And obviously, I spent time with them in person. You can't fake that. And I cared about these people. I really cared about them. That's why when you care about someone and you've got a job to do, you'll have some anxiety, and that makes you a good person with empathy, because you're anxious. You don't want to let a person down. And I was very good at delivering my job. And obviously, I got to know. I'm not saying every one of my clients, but most of them became like really close friends and a really good relationship. And it almost, you know, to a large degree, they become like family. So the people that I was working in, I generally 100% from my heart cared about them and wanted to help them to solve their problem and get them into a relationship. And I was able to do it for many of them, or to at least get them confident, so they've got good self-esteem, improve their social skills. And that's what I've always been excellent at doing, helping shy, anxious people to become confident in their life, and helping them to better their social skills, really just enhance what they've already got. So when you really want to understand my message and where I'm coming from, and you know, people are always going to have their opinion, and that's fine, that's part of life. People won't believe you and stuff like that. When I started, I did so much of my stuff for free. I didn't get a penny out of it. I did it because I loved it. I loved teaching. I loved help. It made me happy to help other people, and I enjoyed it. I loved the people I was working with. So when I first started, I didn't get paid for any of it. It was actually the clients after that started saying, I want to pay you. You've changed my life. So later on, I turned it into a business, right? And it was great. So I'm not saying because money is earned in a certain area that it's corrupt or everything's bad, because that's just not intelligent, right? You've got people that think like that, and I'm not one of them. I'm not like, I don't think everything's a conspiracy and everything's wrong. That's a bit naive in itself. There's a lot of corruption, obviously, in the world. I mean, that's obvious, but not everything's corrupt. And there are good people out there. There's good relationship coaches, men and women online. I've seen them. I can tell. I can sense when someone is a good person and they've got good values and they care about people. And I meant to give credit to those. So I really just want to give a pat on the back to the relationship experts, the men and the women that are out there breaking their back. Because I know how hard it is, how much work it takes. And here I am. I'm not asking for a pat on the back today. I'm not getting paid a penny to do these videos. I'm not even employed at the moment, but I do this because I enjoy doing it and I like helping people, and I've got a lot of experience and it doesn't cost me anything, and I appreciate the support I get, and I'm passionate. So I'm not getting any money out of these videos. I'm not making them, not even working at the moment, right? That's another story. I plan, as I said, to return back to work. I'm hoping to get back to work by the end of this year, but let's see what happens with this lockdown. But I really wanted to share this with you guys and girls today, and I wanted to share it for myself to let you know where I'm coming from, why I don't do it. Now, secondly, moving on, the reason why I don't do online dating, I haven't needed to do it for years, is because once I gain my confidence and learn how to approach women in real life and speak to women, I've had such positive experiences, and I've had, just off the top of my head, I've had about 4 long-term relationships from approaching women in public, right? That's a lot when you think about it. 3 years, 2 years, 2.5 years, and that's just off the top of my head, right? And that's not including, and I'm not being big, I'm just being honest, hundreds of dates I've been on. And I've also had hundreds of conversations that haven't gone anywhere, but I've just had a really nice connection with a woman. And I've actually spoke to women and met women from all around the world, and they've been so nice, they've been lovely and open, and they've appreciated me approaching them. So it's not all of our society that deems and thinks it's wrong that men go out and speak to women. I just can't understand a culture that wrongs a genuine guy or a genuine woman wanting to speak to each other in public. It's just absurd. It's like, how can you try and ban something like that, make it legal? Then you're basically saying that it's illegal for people to speak to each other in public. What kind of society are we becoming? It's insane. But it's normal to sit on computers, and for so many people to be suffering from mental health problems, depression, suicidal thoughts, loneliness, anxiety, because they're just stuck on computers. So it doesn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me back then, it doesn't make sense to me now. On a beautiful sunny day like today, wherever you are around the world, what would you rather? If you're seeking a relationship, or you just want to better yourself and be more social, what would you rather? Be sitting on online dating sites sending messages to women, or the same way around for women sending messages to men? Or would you rather go out in real life and meet people, go to a nice park and go and speak to someone and grow some courage and be a man? And I think it's great. I'm an advocate that I don't think there's anything wrong with women going up and approaching a guy and asking a guy out. I think that's a lovely thing to do. I've got no problems with that at all. So for me personally, my philosophy, my message, super positive. I've always tried to contribute something positive to men and women in this area, because I know what it's like to struggle with, but I also know what it's like to succeed in it and meet someone and be successful. And I haven't got time to go through the amount of women that have complimented me and said, I'm so glad that you came up and approached me today, you've made my day, or you're such a gentleman, or so many compliments or more. I had it so many times to mention. So there's a lot of women that don't knock it, that want guys to approach them. And I know that there's going to be a group of women that don't, and that's their choice. But you can't paint everyone with the same brush. Just because you've got a group of people over here that want to live their life that way, and their political ideas and views are that, don't force that on me. We're meant to be living in a democracy where we have, well, it's kind of an irony, we don't really have freedom of speech anymore. But I don't go around campaigning against online dating and telling you to stop doing it, but I'm just giving you my opinion that I don't do it. It's not for me. So at the end of the day, a lot of you guys are always worried and scared about what society thinks, but you're never going to get, you're never going to be liked by everyone. And even when you're trying to do good things, people are still going to knock you, but you just got to not let it get you down and focus on the positives, like I said. But yeah, listen, man, as I've said, I'm not like a jealous, nasty person who wants everyone to think, look, if you want to do online dating and it feels right for you, then go for it. And if you meet someone on online dating and you're happy, I'll be happy for you. But I'm just giving you my opinion, and as you are asking for it, I'm going to give you the honest truth. I'm not going to beat around the bush. And I don't like the mental health effects online dating has on people that especially vulnerable men who suffer with anxiety, and I've been through it myself. It's very difficult. Going on that just enhances it, because it's not just about, and most of these dating sites, the way they're designed are for one night stands. And again, I'm not knocking anyone who wants to do that, right? Because I've done that in my life, but that's not really where I'm at now. I'm older, I've matured, I'm a grown man, I'm an adult. But I'm not going to knock young people for doing that, because that's what young people do. Who am I to say? But I'm just making a point of saying most of these sites, they promote, long-term, honest, monogamous relationships. But that's not that. What actually goes on it is that's not really what happens on it. It's just people looking for quick one-night stands, and that's why it's got that. People are just willing to do whatever, manipulate and all kinds of stuff. And I just, not for me. I value myself and wouldn't be seen on those things. So, I've said it before. In terms of mental health benefits, going out in real life and approaching women, or women approaching men, or talking to someone at face value in real life, not on a machine, it does wonders for your mental health. It does great. It's great for your social skills, great for your life skills, great for your self-confidence. There's so many benefits, which is why I can't understand. We've got certain people in our society who are trying to knock it, who are trying to ban it and stop it, and you can't do that, because then you're banning people talking to each other. It doesn't make any sense. I'm an open-minded person, but that's my feelings towards it. Now, of course, if they managed to create a new type of online dating which was genuine and sincere, and it had a good force behind it, had people that cared and really wanted to help men and women find love, then that would be great. Like, that would be thumbs up from me. But that's yet to be seen at the moment. They haven't done that yet. They're just coming out of more and more of and they've even got one which I think's weird, where you basically, you're walking down the street, you're signed up to this online dating app. This is just crazy for me, right? This is hilarious. So I'm walking down the street and a woman walks past me. I don't know her, she doesn't know me. Next thing, my phone beeps and it says she could be a potential match, because I'm on this online dating site that and it's like it's flagged up that we might be a match. So I'm not going to speak to her on the street in public. I'm going to ignore her, go home, and I'm going to send her a message and say, hey, I'm the guy that you walked past today, and I mean, what kind of not? That doesn't make sense. Why don't you just cut the middleman out and speak to a woman that you like on the street, or for women, speak to a guy that you like? I don't, and it is good today that things have come a long way from the days where obviously women. They weren't really treated equal as men, right? And I'm not for that. So it's good today that things are more equal than they have been. So I don't have a problem with men being men and going up and approaching a woman, as long as it's respectful and it's honest. I haven't got a problem with it. I think it's great. And I don't have a problem with women doing the same. And it's interesting, I've had quite a few women over the years who've watched my videos, who've got inspired. But I've got messages all over my social media platforms. If I go through my Gmail, my Facebook, they're all in there somewhere. Women have gone out and they've faced their fears, and they've asked a guy out on the street, and they've gone on a date and things have worked out. Or it just gave them confidence. So it's a confidence building thing to go out and for men and women to speak to each other, because it does take guts, and it is something that you have to admire. It's honourable. But being on an online dating site, and one of the ladies had commented on my last video, I read your long message, by the way, it doesn't take any courage. The women are saying that. Women say that amongst themselves. They've told me that. A lot of women have said, I was attracted to you because of your confidence, not how you look. It's not just about looks, it's who you are as a person, how you made me feel, the way that you spoke to me, it was respectful. So I'm just going to make it clear, I don't subscribe to any group of people that advocates going out and disrespecting women or being rude. I'm not for that. I wasn't brought up like that. I was brought up to respect women by my mum and dad, and that's how I am. So I'm not for that. So I'm just making it clear, there's so many different groups that try to force their views on you, like I said. So, at the end of the day, you do what's right for you and what feels right for you. You don't listen to what I say. If you feel online dating is good for you, then by all means do it. If you don't feel right about it, then approach women in real life and meet a woman. And there's so many places you can do it. You've got tourist places, you can go abroad, you can go on the beach when it's sunny, you can go on the high street, you can do it in a coffee shop, you can do it in parks. especially in a place like London. There's so many great places. Obviously, when things go back to normal and the COVID is over and we can interact with each other properly, before this happened, and the summer's hopefully is coming, the sun's out, you know, we've got a lot to smile about. There's so many nice places. You've got the train. You know, I've got into conversations. I've had women chat me up on the train. I've gone on a date from Leith. It's been brilliant. So for me, they're my values, they're my reasons, and you're very welcome, all of you, to let me know your thoughts. And listen, if you disagree with me, I still respect you as a person and your opinion. We don't see eye to eye, but I don't hate anyone. I don't hate you because you do online dating. I wouldn't. What's that going to do? I'm going to hate myself. So we can agree to disagree, but we don't have to hate each other. So I respect the fact that you don't agree with my way. My way's going out and, you know, speaking to a woman in real life at an event or a bar, on the street, anywhere in public. So you don't agree with that. Okay, I understand that. Can you also show me the same courtesy and respect, as we're in a democracy apparently, and understand I don't agree with your way, which is going on online dating sites to find a relationship. I don't agree with that, right? But don't have to have any malice or hatred towards one another, because so many people today are so hateful just because someone thinks different. And for me, that's just it's not a very intelligent way to live, and I don't go about things like that, because at the end of the day, I know that it's not a huge percentage from what I've been told, but some people will find love on some of these online dating sites, but most people from my experience don't, and I never did. Alright, so that's my thoughts on it. The benefits are, I'll go over them again. When you approach people in real life, for men and women, your mental health improves. You gain more self-confidence. It gives you confidence in all areas of life. It gave me the confidence, because I was a shy person growing up, to do these videos. I gave hundreds of public talks. I coached hundreds of people. I've obviously been out. I've approached thousands of women. It changed my life. It took my life into a positive direction, and I wouldn't have the fan base that I've got. And it's great now. When I first started, all my fan base was male. It was just males. But over time, it started to change. Now it's women as well. It's obviously more men at the moment, but that's great. I'm really happy about that. So there you go. There's my reasons. And as I said, I never needed online dating, because I've always had success meeting women in real life. Even something that I do think's great, I've said it in my video, which I did once or twice, and I did enjoy it, right? It's not the best one, but it was good, is speed dating, which is different to online dating. Speed dating's in person, and I'm anything that's in person I think's great. So for people, you know, maybe some of you don't feel comfortable going out in public, I understand that. Try speed dating. But at the end of the day, listen, we'll wrap this video up. Let me know in the box below, from the guys and the girls, what is your, personally, not to agree with me, what's your favourite means of dating? What's your favourite dating platform? Is it bars? Is it clubs? Is it in public? Is it speed dating? Is it events? Family? Online dating? Let me know in the box below. Let's have a look. Become fearless. I'll see you soon, and remember to like, subscribe if you enjoy the videos.